Sifting through family treasures after a freak storm demolishes their homes. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Patricia Villone. Thank you for joining us. Well, recovery efforts continue in Bladensburg. Hundreds of residents remain displaced. Today, many grabbed whatever they could from their units. CTV's Sonia Srivastava continues our coverage.
Well, here at Bladen Woods, this is one of the hardest hit buildings. Residents have started to move out. Today is the last day that they will be able to do so, just pick up their belongings and essentially take with them whatever they can, because after that, this building will be gutted. Now, we spoke with a few residents earlier today, and they told us that their buildings will not be, their apartments will not be ready for another year and a half.
I'm an owner here, and I've lost everything. Very frustrating, fearful, I'm just at loss for words, because my life is in this place.
I'm an owner of this property. We were just in awe, in total shock, but we're just thankful by the grace of God that we're alive. Foremost, we were not here when the storm occurred. However, this right here is just a travesty. And then we found out that this property won't even be ready until a year and a half. So it's like your world is upside down overnight.
What are some of the things in there that you've lost that are so close to your heart?
My furniture, my clothes, my personal belongings that got wet, the ceiling fell in on. So I'm gathering the best that I can, what's left that's salvageable.
What are some of the things that you were able to get?
I did get my clothes, I did get my jewelry and things like that, and photo books that didn't get wet.
What were some of the things that you were able to grab?
Papers, birth certificates, minor toys. Couldn't really get clothes because everything was destroyed in the storm. So now mold has actually set in.
Well, here's an example of what people were able to salvage. We've got this computer desk here. Down here we've got some plates, bowls, and even sodas over here. And this is essentially all that one resident here was able to get out of their apartment. They've lost all of their clothes, all of their furniture, and this is it. So certainly some hard times for some of these families ahead, and we will of course continue to follow these recovery efforts. In Bladensburg, I'm Sonia Srivastava. Back to you.
And meanwhile, residents living in the Newton Green Senior Home are counting their blessings and praising the county's recovery efforts tonight. The property manager showed us some dramatic pictures she took on Friday night. She says the roof from Bladen Woods landed just a few feet away from their building. The majority of residents had to evacuate, which was a challenge as many were in wheelchairs and some on oxygen.
I had to go around and ask who takes the insulin. I have to make sure they have ice to keep their insulin cool. I have folks in the building that are on oxygen 24/7, so by the time Saturday evening had come around, they hadn't received any.
Each person have a flow monitor. We had to bring those people in the wheelchairs and all downstairs. When they said evacuate the building, we were on top of it. Then, after a long certain time, they got so they wanted to go back upstairs. We had to get them up the steps, and we did.
Saturday they came in, they cleaned it. Everybody seemed to work together. They got a lot of the stuff up. And they've been here all week and, doing. But I think everybody done a wonderful job.
We're a priority, so they got everything for us on quick as they
You were happy with the overall response?
Yes, very much.
And Wilson says most of the seniors were back in the building by Saturday night when the lights came back on. Well, Prince George's Director of Public Safety, Barry Stanton, says damages from the Microburst storm are estimated at $2.8 million, but that number could go up. The agency is still in the process of assessing the damage. Stanton says it's too early to say if the county will seek federal aid. If you would like to help those impacted, you can make checks or money orders payable to Prince George's County Department of Social Services and put Bladensburg Microburst Lay Fund in the memo section. Those contributions can either be dropped off or mailed to 805 Bright Seat Road in Landover, Maryland. Residents can also drop off pantry items such as canned foods and new or gently used clothing to the same location. Well, the debate over marriage equality is far from over. Opponents of the bill have reached their goal of enough signatures to bring the measure to a public vote in November. The Maryland Marriage Alliance turned in more than 39,000 signatures Monday on top of the 113,000 signatures already submitted. Well, with election season in full swing, Senator Ben Cardin is pushing for legislation that bans deceptive practices and voter intimidation tactics during federal elections. Cardin testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee today, arguing that minorities oftentimes fall victim to voter intimidation. The measure seeks penalties for those who list wrong dates and times and inaccurate voter eligibility requirements during the last 90 days of an election. Some Republican senators are skeptical about the bill's intent, saying the legislation allows ineligible people to vote and is unconstitutional. The legislation was first introduced in 2007 by then Senator Barack Obama. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Villone.